Hey there, I'm Will Leach, author of Marketing to Mind States, and this is your Mindstate Messenger. Hey, we all know the importance of just being liked, whether that's finding a spouse out there, being included with some sort of a group, or actually the most important thing for you could be how do you drive your business forward? People who are liked get all the privileges and all the advantages. So I want to talk to you really quickly about 5 different psychological principles you can use to increase your likability. I know it sounds weird to say that, but the fact of the matter is, not everybody knows these things. And if it's not in your personality to kind of be jovial and to be well liked, well, you can use some of these things to be seen as more likable. So follow me along here and let me tell you a little bit first about the law of association. This is an interesting concept. So, have you ever been in a business meeting, or maybe you're in a business environment where every time the salesperson comes in, they drop off some donuts or kolaches, big thing they do around here in Dallas, right? I remember for years, it seemed like we had a vendor who came in when I was working over at PepsiCo that every time he came with a box of kolaches. Now, granted, that's just a gift, but there's a law of association, meaning that if you really love kolaches or maybe donuts or something like that, you associate those donuts, those things that make you happy, with the person who's giving them to you. So you can use the law of association to create an association of something great with you. So think about that as, you figure out, how do I become more liked in business or whatever? What can you do to bring people gifts or something that's great and be associated with that? Really useful thing. Next is the concept called repeat exposure. Now, my wife used to call this be in the line of vision. Here's the concept. Psychologically, that when we get repeat exposure, we build familiarity. And there's this cognitive bias called familiarity effect, where when we see things again and again and again, they become more familiar and more liked. There's less of like this feeling of fear with that. So she used to talk about being in the line of vision for her girlfriends, which really what that meant was, if you like a guy, then what you want to do is always kind of be around and in their line of vision. You don't need to say hi. You don't need to approach a guy, but be to where wherever they're looking, you're in the line of vision. And it was her thinking was that as he sees you more and more, he'll become more attracted to you. And actually the behavioral sciences show it. Be in the line of vision. Repeat exposure. It's okay for you to come again and again around, say hi again and again. Those things actually oftentimes are not being a buzzkill to somebody. It's actually creating more familiarity, which means you are going to be more likable. Now, the third thing you can do is something called reciprocal affection. It's a simple concept, but I've been using it forever. What you want to do is, if you want to be seen as more likable to somebody, find out something that you want to compliment them on. It has to be real. Most people have a subconscious understanding of the traits that they have, and they can tell most of the time when what you're saying is a lie. We have this innate idea or this innate ability to do that. So number one, find something that you really like about that person. And then secondly, show them or tell them that that's really cool. Here's something I do all the time. If I don't really like somebody, I can almost always come down to this thing. I say this a lot. Man, I love the way you think. I love the way he thinks. I love the way she thinks. I don't have to like you or dislike you, but just understanding how somebody thinks to me is really interesting. So I can almost always say, I love the way you think. Whether it's right thinking or wrong thinking, it doesn't really matter. I can find real passion in that. So I use that line quite a bit. So find something that you're attracted to in a person and use that. And what happens is the reciprocal attraction or affection is when you tell somebody that you find something, likable about somebody, they start to like you in kind. Reciprocal affection, use that. Another one, and you probably know this, is this idea of creating an ingroup. Or really what that means is find rapport with somebody in a commonality or a common group. So here in the Southeast, though I'm in Texas, I still like to think of myself in the Southeast because I watch SEC football, Southeastern Conference football. There is a camaraderie of football fans in the Southeast United States that we love football. I'm sure there are 1,000 other common things that you're aware of that bring people together. Football, cooking, whatever. So what you want to try to do is figure out that person's in-group. Find out whoever you're trying to be seen as more likable to, what is something they like, and then be a part of that in group, right? So oftentimes I may start conversations, and especially if I'm in the South, I'll talk about football. And if I know that you're in the Southeast Conference, I don't have to say that I'm a Florida fan, knowing that person's a Georgia fan and maybe they don't really find the in group. I just ladder it up to, God, I love SEC football. That brings us something common to that we can all nod our heads to and say, yes, I agree. And it creates familiarity and likability. So create an in group. And then the last thing is this sense of reciprocity. Now, this is similar to reciprocal affection, but slightly different. Reciprocity is when you take action on the benefit of somebody that they feel that they must take that action towards you as well. So here's what that comes down to. What you can do is if you can ask somebody if you can do them a favor, whatever that small favor is. It can be super, super small, but when you ask somebody or do a favor for somebody, they feel this innate reciprocity desire to do something nice for you. And we tend to associate things that we do for other people as being nice. So if there's any way you can do any small little thing to help somebody out, it's going to help build your likability. Also, it's really interesting, is you can ask them to do something nice for you. And what's so interesting about that is, let's say they don't even know you very well, but if you ask for a favor or ask for advice, actually what that does, it creates attraction between them and you, because we also feel like that if we're going to do something for somebody else, that we must like them. It's all subconscious, but it actually works really, really well. Ultimately, guys, really cool thing about this is we all know that if you're in business, you want to be likable. And if you are well liked, you will get more business. So understanding and applying the science of attraction is a really smart step towards growing your brand or your business using behavioral science. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Now hit that like button if you found this video helpful, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see the latest videos to show you how to grow your brand or business using behavioral science.